Welcome back to OpenLine. Day 3 of the Vanderbilt rape retrial. Brandon Vandenberg on trial, incredibly, on his 23rd birthday. Some of the most damaging testimony possible was presented to the jury today. Detective Chad Gish is on the stand. We've seen 2 clips of his testimony. We're going to go now for a 3rd clip. He talks more about videos that were taken by Brandon Vandenberg on that night. He also talks about how he recovered those images. We're not taking calls tonight, but if you want to comment on my Facebook page, it's NC5_Ben Hall. Let's continue to watch today's testimony.
It pans back over. Somebody says, let's go back to tin roof. Hey, do you guys want to go back to tin roof? And then it pans back over to the victim who's laying on the ground. And it appears to me that Corey Beatty has...
He can say what he sees on the video, but that his conclusions about what he sees are not relevant.
I mean, it's saying what he appears to be seeing. So you could say what you appear to be seeing.
And it appears to me that Corey Beatty is having sex with the victim, because it appears that his penis is in his hand, and when he backs up from the victim, and that's when I hear Brandon Vandenberg say, "Dude, you ain't even hard, bro."
Detective Gish, you have testified related to the file names of the video files that you recovered from Joseph Quinzio's laptop computer. Can you describe, were those files on the computer or were they deleted? How were you able to recover those?
No, those files were saved as attachments in his iMessage structure. So iMessaging is a proprietary messaging app that Apple uses. So if Gerald Norman had an iPhone and I had an iPhone and I send her a message, then if she has iMessaging enabled on her iPhone, and so do I, when I send her this message, even though I'm on Verizon, basically what's going on under the hood is Apple says, hey, wait a minute, Verizon, we'll take care of this message. Don't even worry about sending it through your servers. We'll send it through our servers because Gerald Norman is connected to iMessage. So then that message is immediately routed through Apple servers, since it's an iMessage, going to another iPhone, and it lands on Gerald Norman's device. If I was to send Gerald Norman a picture through iMessaging, it would do the same thing. It would go through Apple servers, land on Gerald Norman's phone, and then Gerald Norman would open up her iMessages on her phone, and she would see this attachment, this picture or video that I just sent her. Now, that video is just not sitting there on the screen. I mean, we know that has to be stored somewhere, and it's stored in the attachment area for iMessage attachments, and that's where I recovered these 3 videos from. The videos were still engaged in part of iMessaging, but they were recovered fully, not deleted. They were still 100% active and allocated in Quinzio's MacBook, it's a long day, pardon me, in his MacBook laptop, where they're supposed to be in the iMessages.
And did you locate the iMessage conversation? I mean, you said that you located them as an attachment. Were there iMessages on that laptop device?
There were. I think one of the first parts I testified to this morning was when I first started analyzing Brandon Vandenberg's iPhone. During that 2:38 to 3:10 in the morning, I found iMessages that were referencing rape, and that the conversation referenced that whoever was conversing with him had seen images or pictures. when I started looking into Mr. Quizneo's computer, I found the exact same messages that he was having the conversation with Vandenberg. So not only were they found on Vandenberg's phone, going to California and seizing this computer enabled me to recover that whole conversation and the attachments of the videos from Quizneo's computer. So really I had part of it from Vandenberg's and all of it from Quizneo. So I had the whole, now the whole investigation is coming complete. Now I have everything and I can start viewing and reading these text messages because I recovered them wholly from Quizneo's computer.
Detective, I would ask that you be handed a document. It is, I believe, 7 pages in length. And I have just recently given defense counsel,
Yes, you
I
may.
provided defense counsel a copy prior to him taking the stand. They have their own copy. Detective Gish, do you recognize that document?
I do. This is data that I recovered from Brandon Vandenberg's phone. And with me talking about the image gap for so long, this is actually the printout that shows, physically shows the missing images on Vandenberg's phone. So when I look back and I started analyzing his computer, I knew that they went into that room at 2:38 in the morning on the 13th. So I wanted to find out what the last picture number was saved on that phone before then. So I went in, and the last allocated image that was still available on Vandenberg's phone that hadn't been deleted was 1391. And that picture was taken a couple of hours before 2:38 in the morning. It was at 6:22:13 at 22:20. Then I wanted to see if 10:20 p.m. on the 22nd. Then I wanted to see what the last picture after the incident was allocated. And I found that the very next picture on Vandenberg's phone, this is where the numerical order comes to play very important. So we went from 1391 before the incident to 1408 after the incident, and that 1408 was taken at 6/23/2013 at 2:47 p.m. So that image gap was between 6/22/13 at 10:20 p.m. before the incident, and the very next saved image was at 2:47 on the next day. So there was that from 1391 to 1408. That's how many images we were missing in this time frame.
Detective Gish, that image 1391 and 1408, did you locate those images anywhere on Joseph Quincy's computer?
I did, actually.
And could you describe how you were able to do that?
Right. When I started the analysis of Quizneo's computer and actually found these videos in the text messaging, I started analyzing a lot more of the text messages to see if there was any more conversation between Vandenberg and Quizneo about this incident. And what I'd found on Quizneo's computer in his iMessaging was that he forwarded through iMessages, or from Vandenberg's phone, received an image that was the last one. I believe it was the last one, which was 1408.jpg.
And is that a report that you actually created as part of your forensic analysis?
Yeah, it just shows the image gap. last allocated image before the incident, the last allocated image after the incident, and the numbers in between of how many messages that we were missing or images that we were missing. And it also shows that the 3 videos that we recovered from Quizneo's computer, 1398, 1400, and 1401, were all inside of this image gap of missing photos.